Okay, so let's get our practice started today in a comfortable seat. And as always, remember that cushions, bolsters, blocks, something to elevate the hips can be quite nice. You can sit cross-legged. It might be a half lotus where the foot is up, or you might even want to straddle the bolster. It's another really nice option. So always be curious when you find your first seat, not assuming you're necessarily going to want to do the same thing you do every practice. So find something that's comfortable. Let the pelvis really ground down onto the earth. Let the legs get heavy and feel the contact of the ground. And find a little bit of length in the spine. And then stack the head right on top of the pelvis so there's the least effort possible in holding the body upright, and there can still be some relaxation in the body. And then just let yourself settle into this space. Just keeping things really simple, attuning to your senses, feeling the earth, maybe feeling the air on your skin. Maybe feeling the clothes on the body. Just becoming a little more attuned to this space, to the body, and the connection between the two. And then notice the air moving through the nostrils. Just notice that sort of cool air moving in. And then a slightly warmer air exiting the nostrils. See if you can soften the face just a little more. Beautiful. I'll invite you to either cross the arms at the chest, or if you want to open up the chest a little bit more, you might interlace the fingers and pop the hands behind the head. Open up the chest just a little here. Keep breathing through the nostrils, and then just slowly rotating a tiny bit to the right, and then a tiny bit to the left, and then again to the right and to the left. And we're just going to shift side to side, teeny tiny movements to start off. And then you're going to explore going a little bit further each round. Just so we can bring in a little bit of rotation through the middle back in a very gradual way, expanding on the rotation as you go. Not necessarily to get the biggest stretch you can get, but just allow some motion. And then eventually we're going to twist to the right and pause. And then we'll drop the arms, right hand behind you, left hand at the front, either looking straight to the side, or you might want to turn the head back a little bit, get a bit more rotation through the neck. Just keep breathing through the nose for now, nice and simple. Now when you're ready, bring the hands back where they were, either behind the head or across the chest. Come back to center. And then just keep rotating onto the other side. And then you'll pause here, placing one hand at the front, one hand at the back. Option to look behind you or just to the side, breathing gently through the nose. We'll just slowly release the upper back, the chest, preparing the diaphragm to be able to naturally breathe with more ease in preparation for a pranayama. So really taking it one step at a time. Bringing the hands back up where they were, come back to center. And then we'll come off our bolster if we have one. And then let's prepare for a child's pose. So in your child's pose today, we want to open up the side of the body. So rather than going for a supported child's pose, I'll invite you to bring the forehead towards the earth. If it doesn't quite reach, this is where you might pop your forehead on top of the bolster. But here we want to make sure that there's space to lengthen the arms. So you want to reach the fingertips to the top of the mat, keeping the head relaxed. But here we're keeping some energy in the fingertips. So rather than being kind of too relaxed here, we want to have a little bit of a reaching out effort. And then slow, gentle breath is where we find the relaxation. Keeping a little bit of space between the shoulders and the ears. See if you can relax the shoulders down, but keep reaching the fingertips up. So you don't need to scrunch at the shoulders to do so. And then really gently, we're going to add a little bit of a side body open. So just walking the hands over to the right, and then you're kind of shifting the torso in a half crescent kind of shape. And then keep pushing that left hip down towards the earth as the arms are shifted towards the right. See if you can allow that half crescent to really create a bit more of an opening, but not one that's too aggressive, right? We're still moving through this opening with some gentleness. We're not forcing the body in any shape. We're just introducing a different shape and then being guided with how far we want to go. Slow, gentle breath through the nose. And then slowly walk the hands back to center. And then over to the left. Coming in a little half crescent shape. And then really driving the right hip down towards the right heel to establish some kind of firmness here so that we can expand in the upper body from that space. Slow, deep breath. Letting the forehead just rest on the earth here. If you need to have it on top of a bolster, if it doesn't quite reach, that's fine too. And here you might start bringing your attention to notice where you're feeling the breath reaching you. Maybe there's a little bit more space opening up around the right ribs. Just get curious. Beautiful. And then walk back to center slowly. And then can you rise up onto all fours? And then from here, we'll just do a few little cat-cows. So again, let's start with a very small movement where we just dip the belly down, chest down, shoulder blades back and looking to the top of the mat. And then the opposite motion, tuck the tail under, round the lower back, middle back, upper back, and then head down. Alternating between these two shapes, curving the spine one way and then the other. Small motions, maybe opening up into a bigger range if the body says yes through repetition. Keep breathing here. Beautiful. And then finally, we're going to open up the front of the body a little. So simply walk the hands forward so that you can rest the forearms on the earth. Belly comes down towards the earth. And here we've got the feet untucked. So the tops of the feet are going to be on the ground. You might want to spread the legs a little bit to create some space. And then you're almost pushing into the forearms a little bit so that you can open up the chest here, lengthening through the front of the body. Perhaps you can feel that kind of abdominal line or the front of the hips opening up a little. Maybe search for it. You can wiggle around a little side to side, Just getting curious about the sensation without forcing anything again. If it feels like too much, come down a little. Just move the hands forward and you can lessen the extension that way. And then slow, deep breath in and out the nostrils. See if you can relax the rib cage a little. Beautiful. And then we'll simply roll onto our backs. So now we're just going to access an ideal breath pattern to set us up for our pranayama practice in a moment. So lying on your back, you might want to have the feet about shoulder width apart or a little bit wider. Or you might even want to have the knees bent here, whatever's comfortable. We're just going to pop the arms up above the head. Now be mindful of the shoulder. If the shoulder's not loving the arms overhead, just go for a cactus shape with the arms so you don't have to lift as high. And then again, keep the breath moving through the nostrils. And now notice with the arms elevated, how the chest is probably not rising and falling quite as much as it would otherwise. Notice that most of the movement as you breathe is happening at the belly now. And then go ahead and exaggerate that a little bit more. As you breathe in, let the belly rise a little more. And then watch the fall, maybe slow it down a little as well on the way out. Inhaling into the lower belly, feel it rise. Belly drop as you exhale. Just concentrating the breath at the lower belly here. Getting the diaphragm involved and allowing the intercostals, the scalenes, all the other little muscles that we don't need so active during breath to just chill. We let the main breather do its job. Just 2 or 3 more rounds like this. And then we'll bring the arms down and then either crossing the arms at the front so that you can have each hand on the lower ribs, or maybe you want to have more of a kind of hand on hips kind of vibe, but a little bit higher hands on ribs at the side. So whatever is most comfortable for you, shoulder wise or pressure wise, just want to be able to sense what's going on at the lower ribs. So that now you can breathe into the lower belly and then keep breathing so you feel a little bit of expansion at the rib cage. And as you exhale, you might feel the rib cage retract inwards and then the belly draws in. So we're inhaling into the belly, expanding a little bit into the rib cage, subtle movement. And then exhale, we feel the ribs kind of soften inwards and then belly drop. Every inhale at the belly followed by this extension of the ribs. And then a drawing in of the ribs, drawing in of the belly. And notice how the breath is slowing down as you expand into the space. And take your time to refine the motion. There's nothing to perfect here, but we're teaching the body where there's more space to breathe with more ease. And this can take some time. We're almost retraining ourselves how to breathe in the most efficient way. So be patient, be curious. And notice how it feels as you breathe in this different way. One more like that. And then slowly, gently, can you roll back onto the belly? And we come to a crocodile pose. So here we place the hands one stacked on top of the other at the top of the mat. And then go ahead and drop the forehead down onto the hands. So the chest is slightly elevated. Again, you can have the feet about shoulder width apart or a little bit more. Just really relax the legs. You might want to sway the pelvis a little side to side. And then from here, come back to that nostril breath. And then notice movement at the lower back as you breathe. Just start with investigating what's happening here. Notice if there's a rise and fall that's occurring at the lower back as you breathe. And you might notice that when you breathe in, the lower back kind of rises a little, expands, and then dips back down as you exhale. If you're noticing that already, go ahead and let that expand, exaggerated just a little. If you're not feeling it at all, just see if you can play around with that concept. Super subtle. It's almost just a directing of energy or attention that way to allow the breath to naturally expand. Movement's not an easy one to see. Essentially, we're starting to breathe at the lower belly, the side of the ribs, and the back. So there's a three-dimensional breath occurring now. See if you can feel all three aspects involved in your breath. Belly rise, ribs expand, lower back rise. Then everything retracts inwards as you exhale and expel air out of the nose. Just one more round. And then when you're ready, I'll invite you to come up to a seat. If you'd like to have some support for the back, please sit with the wall behind you or back against the bed, something of the like. We're going to be working with Nadi Shodana, alternate nostril breath, for a bit longer than our usual today. So we can go a little bit deeper in experiencing the impacts of this very powerful pranayama practice. So once you find a comfortable seat, again, find that length in your spine so it can really allow Sushumna Nadi to be open here. But again, make sure you're not efforting, holding yourself up too much. If that's the case, and today you just need some support, use something behind the back. So Nadi Shodana here, alternate nostril breath. So we're going to use the right thumb to close down on the right nostril. Pointer finger, middle finger, we either place them gently at the third eye or tuck them under, and then they're not in the way. And then the ring finger is going to close off the left nostril. So maybe set up your hand to what you think you'll want to do and try placing one finger down and then the other to find the ideal shape for you to use for the practice. Now, throughout the practice, if the arm gets heavy, go ahead and hold it with the other hand as well. You can use that little bit of extra support. And if it's all getting too much, see what's getting in the way. Is it that there is capacity, but maybe we're getting a bit bored and distracted? And if so, stay with it. Or if the arms really just had enough, perfect. Just let it rest and visualize the rest of the practice. So we're going to lengthen the breath towards the start. We're going to start with in for 4 and out for 4. We're going to build up to in for 4 and then out for 8 over time. All right, so I'll guide you through. If at any point the exhales feel too long for you, just shorten them and go at whatever rhythm feels right for you. So we'll just start with placing the hand kind of near the nose, and then the left hand just on the lap. Let go of expectations for a moment here. Just really clear the mind, just being present with this moment. And then exhale. Taking an inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Close the right. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Swap, exhale right. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Swap, exhale left. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Swap, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Swap, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4. Exhale. Inhale for 4. Swap. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Swap. Exhale for 8. Inhale for a count of 4. Swap and exhale for a count of 8. Inhale here for 4. Swap, exhale for 8. Keep going with this pattern. In for 4, out for 8, or shorten your exhales if needed. But keep it the same for every cycle. Inhaling from the same nostril you've just exhaled from. Breathing in all 3 parts of the body we've just explored. Allowing for more expansion. And then there's more to release slowly on every exhale. Keep the breath soft and quiet. Persevering for a few more rounds, knowing that you can adapt with holding the elbow, maybe letting go of the arm altogether and visualizing the breath if you need. See if you can stay with the practice. Keeping the face soft. One final round here to finish with an exhale through the left nostril. When that's complete, both hands on the lap, eyes closed. Just allowing the breath to come back to its natural state, its natural rhythm, natural texture. And just observe yourself here, now. We're not looking for anything in particular. We don't need to push anything away or hold on to any experience. Just stay curious with this moment to moment experience post pranayama. And then when you're ready, just gently make your way onto your back for Shavasana. Unless you'd like to take a seated meditation, just stay in a comfortable seat. Feel free to add on layers. Feel free to pop a bolster underneath the knees, a cushion underneath the head. You know the drill. Just find that perfect little cocoon for you to be able to find as much stillness as possible for your very final asana of today's practice. Perhaps the most important one. So stay with the practice here. We don't want to check out at Shavasana. This is when we really want to stay. Remembering that all we have to do to stay is just let go of everything. Let go of trying to control the body, the mind, and just let yourself rest fully, deeply, as much as feels within reach for you in this moment. I'll reawaken you with mantra in a few minutes. Until then, please enjoy your Shavasana. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. If you'd like to stay and rest a little longer or much longer, please honor that. Or if the practice is feeling quite complete for you, please invite some really gentle movement back into the body. Knowing the practice isn't completely complete yet, stay with this gentleness that you've cultivated as you reawaken the body. Maybe hugging the knees into the chest and lingering. Rolling onto your side really slowly and staying there for a little while. And coming up to a soft, easeful seat when you're ready. Maybe the eyes stay shut the whole way up. Once you find a comfortable seat, maybe invite the attention into the heart space for a moment. Perhaps when you do so, you can feel the heart beating. Maybe it's interesting to place the hands on top of the heart to connect with this space. For some of us, it might be a warmth that we feel. Some of us, it might be more subtle. It might even feel like a color. Whatever it is that you sense here, let that be. And just let yourself tune into that. And see if you can bring in a sense of gratitude, perhaps into this space. And let that sense of gratitude come and be for whatever it is that you truly are grateful for in this moment. And if you're seeking a little bit of inspiration, perhaps you can notice this air filled with oxygen that's just constantly nourishing you. Maybe it's a sense of gratitude for this community that's here with you now. Maybe a sense of gratitude for yourself, for dedicated this time for you to explore, expand, and heal, and connect with whatever intention brought you here. Option to gently bow the head down if that resonates. And to each other we say namaste.